Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us to the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host. For the afternoon, my name is Badhun Das. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and associated international educational and training institute. In last 2 years, we already served 35 million knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. In Institute of Global Professional, IGP is a training faculty for skill development, which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective in case one skill just backward in formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professionals and nation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to student, job seeker, job holder, and also for learner, the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we're trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinar, seminar courses, award quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wall knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game, website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required through leadership with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before I move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, please continue your support. We already completed 1,680 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,619 webinars successfully. Dear RGP speaker, participant, and well wisher at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched a new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. So create your account for once with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy feature with mismatch data. You cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive the certificate otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam and if you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download a certificate of gratitude. If you are an online selected for lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in an award function which organizes common support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of certificate from our website within minutes. Certificate of Global Professional IGP, Certificate of Global Inclusion in the Pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge, Certificate of Social Activities in the Pandemic, Certificate of IGP Knowledge in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series for the New Trend in Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskilling Organization Leadership and Managerial Skills. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehension Approach. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art and Teaching a Special Program in the Art. Survey of participation, the assessment 21st century school skills in teaching mathematics. Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quiz with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, and tips for teens, unification tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our student services website for free and many more. Dear IGP will be sure we promised previously, but lack of technical problem. We are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous condition. We will solve condition from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your result for all of the details. It's a cordial request to check our button and pages on our website. Surely I can say you may benefit. Thank you, but note that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our service. At present, we are going to start our 1691 webinar, which name is how to write an effective research paper. And today our speaker name is Divyaka Sharma. She is from India. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, ma'am wants to share a very little bit about her research scholar. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay, ma'am.
Check if it is working. Yeah, you can see it now.
Ma'am, please make it full screen.
Yeah, shall I start?
Yes, ma'am. Now we can start.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the introduction. So, hello everyone. My name is Devika Sharma, and today I will be presenting my presentation. The topic that we are going to discuss today is how to write an effective research paper. So, research papers are very important in today's world, and it has been since a long period of time because we can see them as the building blocks of knowledge and discoveries, and every citizen, every researcher can contribute to the development of society through their researches. So now before we begin with how to write this paper, first we have to discuss what this paper is actually about. So what is a research paper? We see that it is an in-depth exploration. There is like one of the definitions that I have given to explain it a bit. So basically it is an extended piece of scholarly writing that involves in-depth independent research analysis, interpretation and argumentation. So it's basically an in-depth exploration where you research, you analyze, you interpret, and you also present your arguments in this close-knit paper. So it is also a scholarly engagement. We can see that it involves interacting with various academic sources to develop a well-informed perspective. What does it mean is that when you have to start any research, you have to be well aware of what actually is happening around you, any topic of your interest. We will be discussing I am just discussing it briefly over here, but we will be discussing in detail forward in this presentation that what happens with the scholarly engagement. But on the baseline, it is basically being aware of all the academics and all the things that have been done previously in the certain topic you are interested in. Further, we have original insight. In these papers, we find the original insight because they contribute new viewpoints, new ideas, new knowledge, new discoveries to existing scholarly discussions. So we see that something has been done. So a search has been done. Your job is to research. So this is what research means. You have to go and search again, see if something has been left, see if something can be added, see if something unique can be presented in front of the people, increasing the critical thinking, understanding, new discoveries, everything. Then it has this academic proficiency, which is very important in a research paper. These papers, because these papers show the strong research skills, they show the ability to construct a coherent argument. When you present the arguments, that means you're doing something in this paper. You say this, and this is why I'm saying this. This is how it happens. Then we have the extended evaluation. So evaluation is not going to end like just you have written the paper and it ends. The evaluation goes on. So what happens is that when we write, a simple essay, so it is like giving information. But when we write research paper, it demands more. What does it demand? It demands detailed examination. It demands interpretation of information and everything that is important in a research paper. So why are these research papers important? It basically helps you define how credible your work is, be it indexing. So indexings are very important when we talk about the research papers. Is it Scopus indexing? Is it SCI indexing? Or is it some other international indexing? So what happens, all these indexings produce this effect of your research work and makes it available to the masses who are also interested in the topics that you are interested in. So you have to be very particular when you write the research papers. So I've given this, I'm going to present this small structure of research paper so that you can have this outlook of what this research paper looks like. So we can have, we are obviously, we're going to have so many of the people over here. Some are going to be the freshers, some are going to be in process, who must have sent the papers or are even thinking of sending more. So the task is a bit tedious. It is, time consuming. Mentally also, it takes a lot from you. It's not like it's training or something like that. It's like a mental activity. You have to think. Thinking is important in this thing, okay? And not just mindless thinking, but constructive thinking. So this is how the layout of a research paper looks like. We see there is a title, which includes the title of the paper. In some of the journals which are blind review, you're not supposed to add the name of the authors. You can be one author, it can be one author paper, it can be two author paper, it can be three author paper. It depends upon the people who have contributed to the particular research. But what happens is that in blind review, you're not supposed to add, the names and affiliations of your details, like your bio and everything until it is asked. You have to check the information whenever you open a journal. Just check the information, what have they added. So this is the title, and then we have the abstract, which is a complete concise form of your paper. So you can see it involves background, it involves aims, methods, results, and conclusion. But you can also see that these things are also present in the paper. For instance, if you look at the layout right now, we have introduction, after abstract, we have methods, results, discussions, conclusions, and references. So you don't have to add references in the abstract, but you have to mention the method. What is the reason of writing this research paper? Why did you do this research? That is the background, the aim of the research, the method of the research. So in the paper, we have that in descriptive format. But when we talk about the abstract, we discuss whatever we have done in the paper in the most concise way possible. And it can also be 1 or 2 lines. Okay. So it depends upon the length as well. So maximum you have 250 to 300 words limit. And there are also the journals who ask only 100 or 150 word limit, abstract. So you have to construct the paper accordingly. Then we have the introduction, which is again, most important segment of the paper, which explains why you perform this activity. We're going to discuss this also in detail further. It's just like a layout. You keep this picture in your head, what comes first and what comes after. But since this is the platform, you can see that the layout is like there's a title, abstract, introduction, methods. You can also use it interchangeably. So what happens is that most of the people sometimes they just like write a general title, and then after they have completed their paper, they write the title in the full format or formal way. That is how they write it. Then you can also write the abstract after the paper is written. But it is always advised, I would also advise that form at least a general sketch of what are you about to do. So, what happens many of the times, people do write the abstract. Some of the people start with the abstract, and some of the people write abstract at the end. Same is with the title. So when you write the paper, because it's going to be a long process, in the middle you find that there are some of the changes, or there are some new findings that you've come across, and you need to add that in the abstract as well. So you do not to worry about it. Even if you've written abstract first, and if it needs editing, that is perfectly all right, because your whole paper is going to need an editing. That is why we always go for the second draft. Drafting is very important, because in one time you're going to give whatever you have. In the second time, you can have a check. Okay, I've done this. This can be added and this can be subtracted. So that is how a paper is formed. Okay. Then we have the methods. What are these methods? Method is basically how did you do it? So for instance, if I say 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, what method did I use? I used the addition method. I added the 2 numbers and I had the results. So similarly, whenever you have a paper in your hand, methodology is very important, because it discusses how much knowledge you have and what type of thing are you going to implement, and what kind of ways are you going to seek to present the results or the conclusion in front of the reader. So this might look very scientific in nature, but even when we talk about other philosophical or literary papers, there are analysis of interpretations of texts and various things. So we include theoretical frameworks into it because we have to apply something, somebody's critique, somebody's theory. We need to apply all these things. These are all the methods, these are all the theoretical backgrounds or theoretical formations and the frameworks we are using to produce a good product in front of the readers. Then we have the results. After the methods comes the results because we have to show like 2 is the answer, for instance. And similarly, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So 2 is going to be the answer. After that, we are going to have the discussion of what did you just do. So it's going to be method, it's going to be result, and then there's going to be discussion of what did you do in the 2 above topics. And then finally, we have the conclusion, which needs to have a sense of ending. Okay, here you have to state your major findings. So you don't have to confuse the discussion with the conclusion because they are different. Conclusion is basically the findings of your paper. So whatever you have done, what did you find? How much effect will it have on society? What was the need of it? Everything, the major findings are to be stated in the conclusion. And last but not the least, we have the references. So majorly what happens is that people take referencing very lightly, which is a very wrong attitude towards research because say for instance, I'm going to give it an instance to you. Say for instance, if we consider we have to reach up to a hill, you don't know the way to it, but you want to reach to that hill. That is your aim, that is how you want to reach there. So now on the process of going to the hill, you are going to meet certain people. Say for instance, you used Google Maps, you asked people, you asked about the destination, you took information from here and there, and then you supported your aim, and then you thought, okay, I'm going to take the right and then I'm going to take the left, and you took somebody's advices as well in the between. You took somebody's help, to be very precise. So what happens is that when you're going to reach up to the destination, and say for instance you have to write an autobiography of your achievement, it was an achievement, you reached the top of the hill, nobody has reached over there, it was a new hill that you spotted. So when you write an autobiography about this whole experience or any information about this experience, you cannot be ungrateful. You cannot be like you cannot be like that. I knew this way on my own. I just like got up in the morning and I started walking and I reached the height, the hill on my own. That is not how it happened. There was a method. There was a process. There were people involved. All these references are the information, the help you took from here and there to support your argument, support your way to the hill. So that is why references are important. These are the people you need to give the credit to. This can be information, these can be informative channels, this can be news channels, your texts, your primary sources, your secondary sources, everybody, even if interviewees are involved, you have to give credit to everyone and you have to mark their presence in your research work. So references are very important and you need to follow the proper style sheets as well. So it can be MLA, it can be APA, it can be Chicago, anything. So whenever you send a research paper, you need to be aware of these facts. Okay, you have to keep this in mind. Okay, what type of style sheet are they demanding for? So now we're going to start about the discussion of the research papers. What you need to have first. First of all, you need to have the grasp of the task at hand. You need to know what you're about to start. You need to know what you're about to do. So first and foremost, you need this comprehensive grasp. What is this comprehensive grasp? It includes, before commencing any of these researches, you need to ensure a thorough understanding of the assignment instructions. That is, you need to know what you're going to start in this process. So understanding of the assignment instructions is that you have to write this research paper. You need to know what specifics are involved in these research. Okay, you need to know there is an introduction, the layout that are presented to you. You need to be aware of it. You cannot be like, I don't know about it. Okay, what I need to know. So you have to take this note and you have to be very particular about these things. Okay, this is what the layout looks like. This is all I'm going to need in the process. You have to clarify the ambiguities as well. So this process, as I was saying before, is not as easy as it looks. Okay, it is very fruitful at the end, but it needs your hard work, it needs your time, and it needs your perseverance, and it needs your mind as well. So what happens is that when you have to clarify the ambiguities in this process, you're going to have so many of this, not many of the issues, but some of the issues that you need to get clear. Well, you can always seek help. You can go to your professors, you can go to your seniors, you can even talk to the peers of researchers where you can get some information or the other. You're stuck somewhere, you can always seek help. You have to be clear before you start this research. You cannot be like ambiguous before, two-minded before you start this research, thinking left and going right. That process is not going to work. You have to be clear. You have to be walking on the straight line before you take up to this task. So the key components that I'm going to mention over right now are: you have to identify the goals of your research. You have to see what length is required, what format, what is the submission, and what are the deadlines. So whatever journal you are aiming at, so there are two, three processes. One process is like you can first go for a journal. You can see this is the target. You can collect this target journal, and then you can read everything about it. And it's about, you can open the site. There is everything, information is going to be given up there. The indexing is going to be there. Site score is going to be there. Then there's going to be about the article, what type of papers do they publish. You need to be aware what is their demand. Second is that you write your paper and then you send to the similar then you search for the journal in which this paper can be published. So any of the ways you can opt for, everything is like fine, whatever works for you. Then you need to have a strategic timeline. I guess this is a process of life that any goal you want to achieve, anything you want to do, you need to have a discipline in your life. And same things come to the research papers as well. You have to be disciplining, and you have to be realistic as well. You cannot be like imagining, okay, one day I'm going to get up and I'm going to start writing a paper. Next day I'm going to finish my introduction. Next day I'm going to finish my method. And then I'm going to move forward. And in a week or so, or maybe in 4 days or so, I'm going to finish my paper. Be realistic. It's a process. It's something you need to dedicate your time to, your mind to, yourself to. So it's going to be fruitful. Trust me, it's going to be very fruitful. You're adding to the society. You are giving something. You're producing this understanding, these new discoveries that you're giving to the society. It's always going to be fruitful for you as well as for the other people as well. But you need to have this strategy in your head that you have to be realistic. So you have to know that you have to plan realistically, that 2 hours is not sufficient. I can't be like, I can finish my whole introduction in 2 hours. No, you need research, you need literature review, you need to explore first. Only then you can come up to some conclusion. Okay, now I get something. There are going to be a writer blog. There's going to be so many other things that comes in between. But these are just small hurdles that you can pass with your passion and your hard work, and this zest in you to work harder. All of these things can really help you to achieve your particular goal. So you have to plan realistically. You have to allocate ample time. I'm time and again saying it's time consuming because you have to dedicate time to it. It's not a one day thing. It might take months. It might take years. That's all dependent on your research work, and that's perfectly all right. Because the better the research work is, the better the results are going to be, and the better are going to be the chances of it getting published. Okay. So you need to do the writing, you need to do the editing as well. The whole process is very important. So be realistic, allocate yourself the ample time, give yourself the space, to think, let your mind breathe. Even at the times when you cannot write anything or you cannot understand anything, no problem. Take your time off and think. And there are going to be times when you must be sleeping, or you must be reading something, you must be doing something else, like mindlessly just doing any of the activities. Say you are at dinner with your parents, or you are like out with your friends. So you're going to have an idea in your head. So all you are supposed to do is just write it down on the notes. The ideas can come anywhere, because once you start your research work, you just put this key into your head and your engine starts working. When it starts working, it's going to produce results. Okay, this product is going to come out, but you don't know when it is to come. Okay, so it can take time, it can take an hour, or it can take days to come. So you have to be patient, you have to be good to yourself. Only then you can produce this healthy work while you being healthy as well. So first, then what you're supposed to do is you need to select a research paper topic. So it can be idea generation, where spark of ideas, you need to brainstorm, you need to discuss it with peers, you can consult your professors, your seniors, anything. So idea generation is required. You're going to discuss it with your people, not like with everyone, but the person who you can go and discuss with the research topic, the people who are of the same areas, or who know about this area, or who study the similar things, or who are researchers as well, or the people who are who are in the academics, and everyone that that can contribute to you. You can always have the sparking idea type of assignment, where you can discuss and brainstorm and come up to some of the varied titles that you can use for your research topic. Once you have shorted down what I am going to do, then you can do the free writing. So Of course, research paper is a very formal writing. You have to be concise, you have to be precise, you have to be crisp, you have to give the information very intelligently and intellectually as well, so that the other person also gets it. The lingo stays, lucid. Like the other person do not find it too harsh, not too mild. It's just like a balanced thing that is like available to the masses. So, free writing will give you the space to write down whatever without you being, anxious about, is this line correct? Did I write the first line rightly, or can I just improve it? Don't push yourself that much. Just first start jotting down. It really helps. Just unleash everything that is in your mind. Just take a copy or a pen, or just take your technological means and just start jotting down whatever is there in your mind, whatever you have read, whatever you think needs to be added. Just write it down and make it an activity. Just keep on jotting, and then later you can use this material to form it into a formal manner. At least your thoughts are there in some concrete form. They are just not in the abstract or the mental activity form. So now draw from the existing research. You need to explore a lot. You need to explore in your areas. You need to explore whatever information you need to write this research paper. There are certain sites. You can always go to JSTOR. You can go to Google Scholar. You can use sites to download the books as well. We have Z Library. We have GenLib. You can always use these platforms. To research gate. All these things are very readily available to you. So you can always go and use all these sites and these websites, and you can these journal sites, these platforms which can really help you explore whatever topic you are interested in. So then you need to do this difficult task, that is to narrow down. So you study 10 things and you have to discuss about one. So this transition from raw to specific is important. It's challenging as well, but it is important as well. And as a researcher, I do believe you can do it. Everyone can do it. If you have to do it, you know that 10 things I've studied, but I need to work on one. So that narrowing down is very important, because you cannot discuss about the 10 things. All you're supposed to do is discuss about the one thing, but for that one thing, that those other 9 things are also important. You cannot deny their existence and their importance as well. Then you have to come to the originality and specificity. So you have to opt for topics that are both unique and well defined. You don't need cliche topics. You don't need the explored topics that everything has been done in it, that has been done in industry. Like people, ample of the papers, ample of the works have discussed about it or done about it. There's nothing. Every text has something or the other to research about, but always opt for the ideas that are unique. See that you're not repeating somebody's ideas, and to know that you have to explore. Only then you will be able to know that if this thing has already been discussed or no. So exploration will really help you out. Then further we move to the preliminary research exploration. So you need to know the vital discussions. You have to have identify these crucial discussions that are related to your topic, and locate the central issue to focus on. This something that I was discussing about from the broader spectrum to the narrow spectrum. You need to know that okay, this is the central issue that I need to work on. This has not been explored yet. That will come after the exploration. That is not like so difficult. You need not to worry about how will I know what to go, where to go, and how will I know if that has been discussed or no. When you will start reading, you will automatically come to the sense that, okay, this has not, I have read 10 books and this has been discussed, but this has not been discussed, or this has not been discussed and this has been discussed. Vice versa, everything is going to work perfectly fine for you once you step into the shoes of a researcher. So then you have to source, you need to go to the source variety. You need to explore diverse sources, journals, books, credible websites. I just gave some of the examples to you as well. You can always go and search from these sites, websites. Then we have the challenging assumptions that come. So seek sources that both support and oppose your perspective and balanced view. So if you say that, okay, I want to say this out of all that you have come out, you say, I want to talk about this thing. Also see what can go wrong with it. So you need to justify both the points, like for and against. You have to be aware of it and you have to discuss them. Why are you the against is why you're that against is not as good as your advice or as your argument. So you have to support your arguments by justifying and denying your facts on your own. So then you have to go to unexplored avenues, and then you have to look overlooked aspects in existing sources, pinpoint heated debates and potential exploration. You need to have this unique insight. You need to know that you're supposed to give a fresh perspective. You cannot just repeat what has already been done. Then it's not going to be a research. That is going to be a search that has already been done. So you have to, bring new discoveries to the world. And also guiding research questions. Form these research questions. Okay, I've seen many of the students and seen many of the people running away from the research objectives and research questions and hypotheses. They just like run away from it. They don't want to, discuss them. Whenever they like write the whole papers and you ask them what are the research questions, they're gonna go dumb. Like they will not like to discuss about it. But that is not a good sign for you. So if you are starting it, if you are doing it, make it a thing that you always put these research questions in your thesis and or your paper or whatever research work you are doing. So you be specific with it. You need to add how, what, and why questions. Okay, so these questions are typically answered throughout your research work, and you can see a resonance of it in the conclusion. These are your major findings. I wanted to explore this, and I have explored this, okay, in the conclusion. And what significance it has, you have to mention that in the conclusion. Moving further, we have to craft a strong thesis statement. Statement is a statement. We also use it as a slang where we say this person is a statement. That means he knows the answers. He has a question. He himself is the question. He himself is the answer. So he is having that. He or she has that small, strong. Sorry, not small, but strong personality that can build this, statement in its own self. The person enters, and you see, okay, this person is a statement. Okay, so what is the statement all about in the research world? It is a central argument. Okay, it defines the purpose and gives a stance of your study, and it often answers your research questions as well. So it is not going to be very descriptive in nature. It can be a one-liner, it can be two-liner again, just like we were writing the abstract. While abstract has multiple things embedded in it, it needs to have the method, the aim, and everything that I discussed previously. But this statement has this intriguing concept in itself. So what happens is that you give the statement to the people, so they're going to read it, they're going to know the basis of your whole thesis. But that statement is going to be so impactful and so intriguing that they would want to know, why did you write these two words, what does it mean, and then they'll go and explore your whole thesis. So it is just like a statement, a personality of your whole thesis, and you need to be very much aware of it. So it has to be the central argument, it's supposed to be the evidence blueprint, it has to be concise, it has to be coherent, it has to be focused as well. You need to have this focus on it, and it has to be the guiding beacon of your whole research. And it's going to be just like written over here, anchoring. It has to be the anchor that anchors the whole each paragraph of your research. Okay, so that's how important a research statement is. The research questions are important, research objectives are important, research statement is important. So always be clear with all these aspects. So only then when you will ponder and when you will put your head and when you will think of all these things, only then you will be able to define your research more freely and more lucidly. It's going to be very helpful to you only. Then you need to construct a research paper outline. I've already showed you the layout. One of the format has already been given. But apart from that, you also have to prepare another outline for your research paper. And these are some of the essential components of it. So first is like you need to outline the main topics, what you're going to discuss and what comes after it. What are the arguments? What are the evidences for your paper? Just start collecting them. Okay, so when you do the literature review, once you do the literature review, you read and you search the topic, and then the literature review never ends. You just like keep on reading, you keep on finding the evidences to support your arguments. You have to prove yourself that whatever I am saying is of some benefit. It has a sense in it. It has that strength in it. So you need to be focused. You need to prove your research work to people that it is important and it can bring benefits to you. So nobody is going to believe you just like that. You're going to say my paper is very important. See, I discussed about this topic, and I have developed this vaccine of this disease, for instance, and I say that my paper has the answer of this whole disease, and this is the vaccine, it's going to work. So but who is going to believe you? Nobody is going to believe you like that. You need to gather evidences to say that, okay, this was the disease, it had such symptoms, I used this medicine on this disease, and this is how it works. It will include patients, it will include the reviews, it will include the feedbacks of the people, the results, which you will include and support your evidences now and then. It is more scientific in nature, but similarly, it happens in the literary and philosophical papers as well. So you can always go, and collect as much as evidence you need to present your argument with more force and with more strength. So more of the people believe in you, the more theory or the critics are added. That is, those are basically the evidences. The more strong your paper gets, the more strength it has to be presented in front of the people or the readers. Then we have to this efficiency boost. It needs to have this efficiency boost. You have to enhance it efficiently. You need to structure everything out. Okay, this is the main topic I'm going to discuss. This is this in here. This is this in here, and just structure it out. Start jotting down your ideas, and everything is going to work perfectly fine. So we also have these new, AIs. For instance, we have ChatGPT. It can also help you a lot. So majorly what happens is that people generally use ChatGPT to, in sense of a plagiarism thing, they would just like ask you to write something for it. That is not how research is done. You can make much use of ChatGPT. Okay, so there are pros and cons and everything. So it's not a school assignment which you can just simply write and, say for instance, the plagiarism is not getting checked, so you're going to work with it. That is not how you grow yourself. That is not how you personally bring yourself forward. So how you use this ChatGPT is that you can ask ChatGPT about the critics, about the theorists, to the particular field. You can, ask who are the prominent neurologists in the field right now. So that it is going to give you some names. You can go and search about them, search about the works they have done. You can even ask him if, like, you're reading a text and you're not understanding, the meaning of it. So all you can do is you can copy paste that and ask it to define you it like in an easy way. So sometimes you don't get the concepts, like your mind goes shut, like easy things also you're not getting. So if somebody explains you in another other way, so it always helps. So you can use this chat GPT for the other way as well. So you can use it to search some books, like if suggest some good books in this new thing, or many of the things that can help. But don't use it for plagiarism. Don't use it to make things do for you. Don't make it like to write the paper for you. That is plagiarism. That is not going to be acceptable, and that's not going to be published anywhere. So use these AIs responsibly. Be responsible when you use these tools. Okay, it can give you ample benefit. So you need to first draft your research paper. You have to prioritize the momentum. Okay, right, with the intention that you are going to revise it later. Okay, then there are going to be certain events that are going to be given to you, through which you can always draft and redraft, and you can always check your paper, add, subtract, everything. You need to have this organized flow that I've already discussed. You need to have this clarity of expression. Okay, clear articulation aiding future revisions. Like, you need to also have this impact of it. Like, you need to know that it is important to the society. It is not like an old topic that is exhausted and it's not going to bring anything to the future as well. You need to be clear with whatever you are working with. Then we have flexible starting point. Begin will while you are comfortable. Okay, I already told you that you need to jot down. You need to not to be so conscious of, okay, this is my first line, it has to be perfect. Don't be like that. Just write it down. Okay, what will happen is that when you will start writing, the flow will get maintained, and automatically you will develop that formal lingo in you that you can always go and rephrase it whenever you get time to. But begin when you feel comfortable, so that more of the thoughts can come without being anxious. Then preserve the deleted text. So there is always this thing, like, when you write something, second day you're not going to like it. Okay, so you feel like, okay, this is nonsense. What did I even write? Why did I even write this? This does not make sense, and this is not good. This is bad, etc., etc. You think things that you tell to yourself. Hold on to it. Never delete your text. Keep it in some other file. Save it. You never know what you had added in it can be used maybe in the finishing line of your paper. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. Like, the thing that you searched previously is beneficial in the later stages, but you thought it is not good enough because at that point of time that thing is not important. I do agree, but it can be important in the other segment, and it can be important for your other researches as well. Never know what comes to you. So always preserve your deleted text. Never delete them. Okay, fine, you don't want to use it in this paper or right now, just keep it aside. Don't delete it. Then you have to have a paragraph that is well structured. Okay, build the paper structure, and each focusing on single claim or idea. Every paragraph, it's not like the whole paper is going to discuss multiple ideas in different ways possible, but you need to make sure that in one paragraph this one idea or one claim is discussed, and you give the sense of ending to it, and then you continue the idea that goes forward in the next paragraph. Okay, don't carry this one claim in the other. You have to follow up to it, but it's not like you are going to just discuss, like, for instance, about one person, and you're going to discuss about this one person second paragraph as well. Just end it in one paragraph and discuss about something new in the second paragraph. So the idea is maintained that way in the whole process. So you need to craft an effective introduction. It is important. And just answer three key questions. Keep it in mind: what, why, and how. So that's how I was discussing about the research questions as well. And that is what the introduction is all going to be about. It is going to be about what are you doing, why are you doing, and how are you doing. All these things are important in introduction. So that is going to give this beautiful outcome at the end. So what is it? What is it? Introduces the paper's topic, provide background information, and elucidate critical terms or concept. Why is about this is the crux of your introduction. Briefly address what novel insights or materials does your paper offer, what crucial question does it address or resolve, and how. Offer a roadmap for your research or for your reader. Okay, so outlining the paper's key components in the chronological order to establish expectations. So remember, an engaging introduction sets the tone of the rest of your paper. So we do use it like it's a cliche now. First impression is the last impression. So it is basically the first impression of the paper, and you need to be very serious about it. Don't take it lightly. Then craft a compelling body. This body can include the method, theoretical background, then we have results, conclusion, discussion, and then conclusion. Or you can just have analysis of the text. You give the main headings and you go with the subheadings and you analyze or interpret the text on its own, whatever you're comfortable with. So you need to have a very organized and impactful, analysis of this. So for these outlines obviously help, and but remember that you have to adapt to the order as well as you write. So you cannot be like mindlessly doing anything. You can do that in an informal setting, but when it comes to the formal setting, you have to be very particular about what comes first and what comes next, what is important and what is second important, everything like that. So stay on course of aligning with the thesis and topic sentences. Just don't go off board. Okay, just always compare it with the topic sentences. It helps. That is why I was saying these research questions objectives are very important, because it gives you this roadmap. Like, I have to follow this road only. I have to go straight only. They're going to be left. There's going to be right, but you have to go straight. Those questions are going to help you in that. With that, the whole thesis is going to be built on these research questions and objectives of yours. If you form these, it's going to be very easy to get a blueprint of where you need to go and check it from. So watch for repetitions, but always see that you are introducing new ideas in every paragraph. Discussing, that is enhancing your idea more and more and more in multiple ways. You're discussing your whole paper so that it produces some impactful result. So concluding effectively, this again is very important, because you need to have a effective conclusion. So conclusion is just not the end. So we see that it's the ending, it's the conclusion. You need to just put an end to it. So what also happens is that in many of the papers I've seen across that, in the name of conclusion, people just give, researchers just give this, small summary of your paper. It's not just a summary. It's not a story where you're going to introduce two characters and leave the rest of the three and it's going to work. No, it's not going to work. Every aspect of your paper is important, and out of that, basically, you have to find them findings. Findings are important, okay? And what is important is the closure. So whenever a reader or an academician is reading a paper, they need to have this sense of ending. Okay, this started, and this is how it has been answered. This was the problem, this was the background, this was the discussion, and this is how it is important. This is what has been stated all across your work. So you see, this closure, this sense of ending is very important, and sense of completion to your reader is what makes your conclusion very effective. So what you need to do in this conclusion is recapitulate the paper's journey, highlight its alignment with the thesis statement. See, again and again, you can see these terms are coming ahead: research questions, research objective, thesis statement. Once you form these, you can always use them as blueprint. It is difficult to form these questions and statements, because it's not difficult because it cannot be formed. It's difficult because they are always kept at the secondary position, and people think that, okay, fine, we'll do it after we write the paper. We do it after we write the paper. But do it first. Just write out the questions, what you need to do first. Write it informally, form it formally, and then start writing your paper. It's really going to help you a lot. Okay. Then conclude by addressing the issues raised in the introduction, giving the paper a sense of resolution. This completion, this resolution is found when you addressed whatever you have raised in your introduction, whatever you raised in your question. Check if everything that you pointed out, I'm going to discuss this in the paper. Has that been discussed in the paper? Have you added that in the conclusion? That is going to give the sense of conclusion, the completion to your paper. Okay. So what you need to consider and what you need to avoid, I have jotted it down. So what you need to consider is implications of your argument on a broader scale. Okay, it should not be like only dedicated to two people. It should be like dedicated to a vast scale so that many of the people can benefit from it. Okay. Then you need to contribute to the future research as well. Don't produce any research work that has a dead end. I'd also say that there are no research works that have dead ends, but see what is highlighted in today's world, what people are more interested in. You have to be very aware of the topics you're working on. So there are so many of the things that go shut and people are no more interested in, or they have been overly exhausted and it people find it more boring. You mean the academics find it very boring and they don't want to, publish such types of papers. So that is not going to be beneficial for you. So you have to be aware, okay, these are the current topics and these are the CCTVs. So, so these, biomechanics and etc. are very prominent topics in today's world. So you can always go and check through these and sort of, you can see these biomechanics, you can see other things like if I give you some examples, cyborgs, okay, it has been long in discussion, but we can see plastic surgery is coming at forefront, and so many of the topics that are so well received by the people, the technology that is advancing, like what type of impact it has on human mind. People wants to know, like it is producing some of the results that is not good for the body, and people really are interested in these things, new technological means, new things that are coming to the forefront. Okay, people are going to moon. So what happens in the space? These are some of the current topics you can always go and explore and find interesting topics to research on. So forget about the topics that have been overly exhausted, because it will be difficult for you. I'm not saying that you cannot find anything from it, but it will be difficult for you to find this new insight from it, because ample examples and ample researches would have already been done on it. So you will find that all the questions have been answered. So I don't have any more questions to ask. So it's going to take longer for you to find these, new brief gaps that are left in it. Of course, gaps are going to be there, but you can also do that if you have, extra time, or if you want to work on some topic that you have been interested for a long time, but obviously it is already exhausted. You can always keep it on the second track, but you need to be very up to date with the life. So you have to keep priorities aside, priorities at the front. So you see, you can work on one of the papers that is very important in current in today's world and has not been explored. And some of the papers can also be worked on. You can take your time to work on the papers you wanted to work since a long time, but it was already exhausted. It needed time, so you can dedicate some time to it as well. So answer these unanswered questions stemming from the argument. Your arguments are supposed to be strong. You need to form these strong arguments. These are your statements. This is what you claim. Your claims are supposed to be strong. Okay, these are one-line statements that you give in one of your paragraphs, and then you start explaining them. What did it mean? How you support it with evidence, and how you deny it with other evidences as well. And then you claim what I say, what I came through out of it. Okay, so it's like a procedure, question and answers, like going on and on in your mind, and you're presenting it to the audience. So what you need to avoid is introducing new points or data in these conclusions, because what you are doing is that you are producing new ideas. That means you need more explanation to it. So conclusion is not like a 10-page length. So you need to be very precise in the conclusion. You just need to present the findings. So you need to avoid these new points of data, because you don't have space to discuss them. Okay, that has to be done in the above sections, not in the conclusion. You need to avoid excessive length as well. You cannot like take 20 pages to write the conclusion. You have to be very crisp in your completion. Then cliched phrases signaling confusion, you need to avoid these as well, because I am telling you time and again, exhaustive stuff is not required anymore. So be up to date and see what is required now. So you need to refine your second draft as well. How do you need to refine your second draft? Is that first you write the draft and then you again revise it? This is going to be the second draft. Align with your vision, justify assumptions, reorganize thoughtfully, evaluate and enhance. Everything is important. You need to draft. So drafting is like, I guess everybody understand. You need to refine. In simple terms, you need to refine. You need to sharpen. You need to see what can be added, what can be subtracted through this process. Then revising and proofreading process. After the second drafting, you can always revise again. So you need to polish your paper time and again after the drafting. When one step is done, you have to get proofread it if there is some grammatical mistakes, because from the bigger scale to the smaller scale, things can happen. You can see there can be faulty arguments as well, arguments that are not supported so well. So you can always put more evidences to support your arguments. But there can also be grammatical mistakes, some sentence structures that are not formed, perfectly, or sometimes what happens, you have not cited properly, like in-text citations are left. So you can always proofread and see if everything is all right or no. So further, we move on to formatting and citation. So this is again very, very important. I was talking about the references. So formatting and citations come in on the whole. So people tend to ignore the formatting and citations, which is very important, because you need to dedicate, you need to credit the people who have contributed, formally or informally, or directly or indirectly, who have contributed to your research, to your ideas. You need to give credit to them. So first, you need to have accurate citations and referencing. So you need to acknowledge the original work. If you're not giving the credit to the people who have written or produced some ideas, you are doing plagiarism, which is unethical. You need to be very serious about it, because many of the people end up, as in that terms, or in criminology, they go under that sections because they looted somebody. It's almost like looting somebody's ideas. Of course, it is not present in concrete form. You cannot just like snatch a bag. It's almost equal to that only. So somebody already said it. Somebody has already searched about it. You need to research it. You add something good to it and you take it as an evidence. Don't use it as it is, because it's going to be plagiarism. And then ease of source verifications. It is also one aspect is plagiarism, of course. Second aspect is you give this ability to the readers to go and search these citations, like from where you took this data, from where you took this evidence. So some of the people are interested in knowing more. So you gave, for instance, one idea in it and you justified it according to you, because you had to, support your own argument. But sometimes what happens is that sometimes, and more of the times, what happens is that people want to know about that idea more. They like this idea. They want to go and look up about it. So through that citation, they can always go to the article, to the paper you have cited. And even the researchers who are going to come in the future can always take much help from your papers as well. So it is like open for multiple benefits when you write this paper. So you have to be very mindful of your citations and formatting. So how to do this to bring this accurate citations? What you need to do for this accuracy is that you need to use this in-text citation. So mention the source in your text first and then give a referencing at the end, full references that comes at the end of the paper. You can use footnotes. For instance, in Chicago, we use footnotes. In MLA, we use in-text citations. Same is the case with APA as well. You can use endnotes as well. Some of you have to check the journals. Okay, they gave you the specification. You go to these journals and they have this author guideline. So you can always open it. Their citation is going to be given. The word limit, the whole paper's word limit is going to be given, and every instruction that is required, the formation, the word file, the way the headings are supposed to be given, everything is going to be explained there. You need not to worry about it. So you can always go and check these information from these journals, and then you can send you perfectly fine paper. Then how to tips for the effective referencing as well. So you need to maintain a detailed list. Note the author, publication year, title and page numbers. In-text citations incorporate as you write. There's another, okay, I forgot about this aspect, but what happens is that students or researchers, what they do is they write something, and then it's not like they don't want to give the citation. They keep it for the afterwards. Like, okay, fine, I've opened the tabs right now, I'm writing, I don't want to get into this stuff and everything. But what happens is that whatever you're writing, just give a citation to it. Just use footnotes for informal methods as well. You can give in-text citations later on. So give footnotes, and what happens is that it brings the cursor to the down side of your paper, and you can just write the basic information or the links from where you've taken the stuff. Okay. So that way you can always keep a track and you don't forget about the citations. Many of the times, many of the papers that you cite online, sometimes the sites offloaded. Okay, so they are no more found on the site. So what will you do? How will you cite it? It's plagiarism then. You do not find the source sometimes. So you have to be very meticulous about this task. Just whenever you write, just add the citation, add the citation. Later on, you can do it. Some people, it's completely your choice. Some people do the full citation at that time only. Some people do it afterwards, but always keep a check. Always keep at least an informal citation on board. Okay. Then accurate reference list is follow the formatting rules, follow APA, MLA, Chicago, Harvard, anything that has been asked by the journal. You can always go and take their help and then send your research papers to these journals. Thank you. So this is all we had to discuss today. So I end my session right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question and answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular treatment. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will be back in our session part 2, which is the question and answer part. Dear IGP
thank
knowledge
you.
seeker, please answer your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have an webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have an webinar certification and online quiz competition. your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. And our first question is from a Facebook user. Is there any source or website to get help for research material?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you for the question. Yes, there are some of the websites that you can always go and refer to. You can write these websites. You can always use Google Scholar. You can go for JSTOR, that is JSTOR in capital. Then we have ResearchGate. Then we have DOAJ, that is DOAJ, that is Directory of Open Access Journals, Academic Access Journals. We also have Science Direct. So these are some of the websites you can go and refer to. You can, even for the books, if you have to download the books, you can go to Z Library, or you can also opt for GenLib. So these sites can really help you to search the research data. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, there is no more questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Honorable ma'am, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Our website is under maintenance. We will back soon with our website. We are sorry for that, and don't worry, you will take your certificate for all webinar very soon. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instructions carefully. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. For some technical problem, we cannot continue the quiz session from our website. So to join the quiz session, you have to go www.study.com and the code is 293616. I repeat the code 293616. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. With 13 people, we are going to start our quiz session after how to write an effective research title. Option 1, it build confidence to the reader. Option 2, it capture reader attention. Option 2 is the right answer. 79% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first question. Our second question is, how do you research your trend to write an effective commentary? Option 1, I brainstorm idea. Option 2, I look through the GCU library. Option 2 is the right answer. 50% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our third question is, I am an accounting major, so I don't know how to write research paper. Option 1, pass. Option 2, fail.
हम महंदर से आगे कह देते हैं वो आगे जाने की सारी तैयारी कर देगा
Option 2 is the right answer and 64% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our fourth question is, the author is giving training how to write an effective paper and audience is you. This is option 1, first person POV, option 2, second person POV. Option 2 is the right answer. 79% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our fifth question is, how to write an effective outward essay. Option 1, write 3 body paragraph. Option 2, write solution for disadvantage, advantage, other way. Option 2 is the right answer. 93% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our sixth question is, how to write an effective analytical report. Option 1, review the literature. Option 2, gather information. Option 3 is the right answer. 64% people are right here in the leaderboard. Alex is holding the first position. Our seventh question is learn how to write an effective introductory paragraph. Option 1 social goal. Option 2 learning goal. Option 2 is the right answer. 92% people are right here in the leaderboard. Alex is holding the first position. Our eighth question is learning how to write an effective argument is option 1 part of school and real life writing. Option 2 only used for narrative writing. Option 1 is the right answer. 77% people are right here in the leaderboard. Bhanroga is holding the first position. Our second last question of the session is everyone already knows how to write an effective email. Option 1 true, option 2 false. Option 2 is the right answer and 54% people are right here in the leaderboard. Bhanroga is holding the first position. Our last and final question of the session is I know known how to write an effective fact sheet. Option 1 true, option 2 false. Option 1 is the right answer. 85% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition. We have top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition. We have top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in the top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. And at the end of the session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to go not a people of things all but understand. Before I say hit the like button, I want to thank all our GP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again in the next section. Thank you.